Gordy Jr. is an American retired record executive, producer, songwriter, film producer, and television producer. He is best known as the founder of Motown Records, the highest-earning African-American business for decades. Berry Gordy was a prolific songwriter and record producer, responsible for some of the biggest hits of the Motown era. He wrote or co-wrote hits for Jackie Wilson, The Miracles, The Contours, and the Jackson 5, including Lonely Teardrops, That's Why, Shop Around, Do You Love Me, I Want You Back, and ABC. As a producer, he launched The Miracles and signed acts like The Supremes, Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, The Four Tops, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and Stevie Wonder. He was known for his meticulous attention to detail, shaping the public image, dress, manners, and choreography of his artists. Net worth and assets. Berry Gordy's net worth is estimated to be around $400 million as of 2023, amassed through his successful career. Berry Gordy's real estate portfolio includes 10,000 square foot house in Bel Air, Los Angeles that features 13 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. He bought the house in 2015 for $14.32 million. The house was built in 1937 and has a pool, a fireplace, and a spacious lot. The house is also known as the Los Angeles Villa and has a limestone exterior and an Italianate style. His cars? He owns or has owned a Rolls-Royce Phantom that he bought in 1965. He also owned a Cadillac Eldorado that he gave to Smokey Robinson as a gift in 1968. He also had a fleet of Ford Mustangs that he used to transport his artists around Detroit. Awards and accolades. Berry Gordy has received numerous awards and honors for his contributions to music and entertainment, including CBC Lifetime Achievement Award, 1993, Induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Induction into the Junior Achievement U.S. Business Hall of Fame, 1998, Induction into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame, 2009, Songwriters Hall of Fame's Pioneer Award, 2013, the first living individual to receive the honor. National Medal of Arts from President Obama, 2016. Berry Gordy Square in Los Angeles, designated by the City Council at the intersection of Sunset Boulevard and Argyle, where the office of Motown was located. Kennedy Center Honors, 2021. Induction into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame, and Honorary Doctorate from the University of Michigan, 2022. Berry Gordy's early life. Berry Gordy was born in Detroit, Michigan, to a middle-class African-American family. He had a mixed-race ancestry and grew up in a close-knit and hardworking family. He dropped out of high school to become a professional boxer but later earned his GED while serving in the U.S. Army. After returning from the Army, he opened a jazz record store and then worked at an automobile plant, where he began writing songs for artists such as Jackie Wilson and The Miracles. In 1959, he borrowed $800 from his family and founded Motown Records, which became one of the most successful record labels in history. About Berry Gordy's personal life? He has been married 3 times and has 8 children from different partners. Berry Gordy's first marriage was to Thelma Coleman, whom he met at the age of 19. They married in 1953 and had 3 children, Hazel, Berry IV, and Terry. After 6 years of marriage, Berry and Thelma divorced in 1959. Berry Gordy's second marriage was to Raynoma Singleton, a secretary he hired who later became a songwriter and producer for Motown. They married in 1960 and had 1 son, Carrie. Raynoma helped Berry establish Motown and its subsidiaries, but they had a falling out over business and personal issues. They separated in 1964 and divorced in 1973. His third marriage was to Grace Eaton, whom he dated for 8 years before tying the knot in 1990. Grace was a former model and actress who appeared in some Motown productions. Their marriage was short-lived, as they divorced in 1993 after 3 years of marriage. He is currently married to Margaret Norton, whom he wed in 2001. They have a son named Kennedy. Berry Gordy's affairs. In addition to his marriages, Berry Gordy had affairs with several women, some of whom were famous singers and actresses. His most notable affair was with Diana Ross, the lead singer of the Supremes. Their relationship lasted from 1965 to 1970 and they had a daughter together, Rhonda. He also had a son, Stefan, with Nancy Liviska, who is better known by his stage name Redfoo, a member of the duo LMFAO. Other women that Gordy dated include Martha Reeves, Kim Weston, Brenda Holloway, and Tina Marie. Early years. Berry Gordy II moved to Detroit for two reasons: the job opportunities and the safety from the Ku Klux Klan. His father opened a grocery store, a plastering and carpentry business, and a printing shop. While his brothers Fuller and George worked in construction and printing, Berry and Robert were drawn to dancing and music. Berry's passion was boxing. Berry dropped out of high school to become a professional boxer, hoping to get rich quickly. He served in the Korean War, where he became a chaplain's assistant and played the organ at religious services. After returning from Korea in 1953, and opened a record store, the 3D Record Mart. In 1957, Jackie Wilson recorded Reet Petite, a song co-written by Berry Gordy, his sister Gwen, and Billy Davis. Wilson recorded 6 more Gordy co-written songs over the next 2 years, including Lonely Teardrops, which topped the R&B charts and reached number 7 on the pop charts. The Gordy siblings and Davis also wrote All I Could Do Was Cry for Etta James at Chess Records. Motown Corporation. Berry Gordy reinvested his songwriting profits into producing. In 1957, he discovered the Miracles and began building a successful roster of artists. In 1959, with encouragement from Miracles leader Smokey Robinson, Gordy borrowed $800 from his family to start an R&B record company. He originally wanted to name it Tammy Records, after the song by Debbie Reynolds, but that name was taken, so he chose Tamla Records. The company began operating on January 12, 1959, with the release of Come to Me by Marv Johnson. United Artists Records picked up the song for national distribution, as well as Johnson's more successful follow-up records. Gordy's next release was the only 45 ever issued on his Rayber label, featuring Wade Jones with an unnamed female backup group. The record did not sell well. Gordy's third release was Bad Girl by the Miracles, the first release on the Motown record label. It was a solid hit in 1959 after Chess Records picked it up. Barrett Strong's Money, That's What I Want initially appeared on Tamla and then charted on Gordy's sister's label, Anna Records, in February 1960. The Miracles gave the label its first million-selling hit single with the 1960 Grammy Hall of Fame smash Shop Around, and their follow-up hits made them the label's first stars. Berry Gordy merged Tamla and Motown into Motown Record Corporation on April 14, 1960. He signed Mary Wells, an unknown singer, who became the label's second star with Smokey Robinson penned hits like You Beat Me to the Punch, Two Lovers, and My Guy. The Miracles' Shop Around peaked at number 1 on the national R&B charts and number 2 on the Billboard Pop charts in 1961, establishing Motown as a major independent label. Later in 1961, the Marvelettes' Please Mr. Postman topped both charts. Berry Gordy's gift for identifying and bringing together musical talent, along with his careful management of his artist's public image, made Motown a major national and then international success. While he also signed some white acts to the label, Gordy mainly promoted African American artists and carefully controlled their public image, dress, manners, and choreography for crossover appeal. Berry Gordy moved to Los Angeles in 1972 and produced the hit biographical drama film Lady Sings the Blues about Billie Holiday, starring Diana Ross, nominated for an Academy Award, Richard Pryor, and Billy D. Williams, cast in a role originally intended for Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops. The studio initially rejected Williams after several screen tests, but Gordy persisted and he was cast. The film established Williams as a major movie star. Berry Gordy's tenacity overcame the studio's initial rejection of Billy D. Williams for a role in Lady Sings the Blues. The film made Williams a major movie star, and Gordy went on to produce and direct Mahogany, also starring Williams and Diana Ross. In 1985, he produced the cult martial arts film The Last Dragon. Motown continued to produce hits in the 1970s and 1980s with artists like the Jacksons, Rick James, the Commodores, Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder and Smokey Robinson. However, the label's dominance had waned. Gordy sold Motown Records to MCA and Boston Ventures in 1988 for $61 million. He later sold most of his interests in Jobeat Publishing to EMI Publishing. Gordy wrote or co-wrote 240 of the approximately 15,000 songs in Motown's Jobeat music catalog. The label's true worth was revealed a few years later when Polygram paid over $330 million. Diana Ross was given shares in this version of the label, for the Motown catalog. Berry Gordy began developing a Broadway musical about Motown in 2011. The show, titled Motown, the Musical, tells the story of the label's founding and early years, and how they were shaped by the events of the 1960s. Gordy hoped that the musical would improve Motown's reputation and clear up any misconceptions about its demise. The musical opened at the Luntfontein Theatre in New York City on March 11, 2013, and ran until January 2015. It then opened in London's West End in January 2016, with Gordy in attendance at the opening night. Thank you for watching. For more, subscribe and click on the bell notification.